Here we go. Aloha. Welcome to the Sandwich Island Social Network on the porch, where we say there's always room for one more on the porch except for Stanley. But it's an old welcome. We are the longest running virtual gathering of Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart in Southern California. And all of you make it so enjoyable and good fun. And we look forward to it every week with much anticipation and
constipation.
Some of us.
Does that mean we are chartered members?
Chartered members. Oh my goodness. And we have all kinds of things that we share over here on the porch. And you know what they say? It's an old saying, whatever happens on the porch ends up on Facebook. So, I think I do smell a pepperoni pizza. It does smell like a Costco's pepperoni pizza. For a while, Costco wasn't serving any food for a while, right? I mean, or was it only takeaway? Or did they stop?
Yes, only pizza.
Only pizza. Okay. And for a while, I was really mad with Costco because you go in Costco hungry and you come out hungry. That's not how it's supposed to be.
But they're starting the little snacky trays now. You know, the little snack.
Oh, the freebies?
The freebies. So all the seniors are going to be in there.
I know. Last time I went, they had a little plexiglass in front and had all samples over there. And I went, oh, it was nice and clean to it. I go, she goes, oh, those are just samples for you to look at. And she's telling me that, it's down the aisle over here, the thing that they're selling. It was just for you to look at, no sampling. You had to just look at it, And,
didn't Costco change the food court to members only now?
I don't know.
Is it?
I think the Lakewood one.
Okay.
I think the Lakewood one did.
Yeah, San Diego same way.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was getting too much.
Members only.
Yeah, too much crowds coming for all the food.
Interesting. Okay.
Very interesting.
Because the food there, I mean, if you're into those hot dogs and the pizza, it's a pretty good deal for and so a lot of people are just coming down just to come hang out. So it's only so you got to show your card when you order your stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Did not know that.
Cards.
Huh.
Originally, it's always been members only, but they didn't enforce it until it got crowded, and then they started to enforce it.
Well, some of the Costco's, the food court is inside. You got to walk through. You got to walk through. Where you show your card. But like the one up here in Simi Valley, it's out facing the parking lot. You don't have to go to the store to to get it. You can just walk up to it. So it depends what the location is as well. Hi, Kahiao. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Hi, Rocky.
Glad to see you, son.
That's Auntie Balboa to you. What's that? I like your shirt, Sam.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
It's the only clean one for today, so there you go.
Yay. How's everybody?
Good.
Oh,
good.
Uncle
I missed everybody.
Uncle Larry's just finishing up his Costco pizza and he's showing off his beer over there. His pizza.
No beer for me. I got green juice.
Ooh, we got green juice.
Ooh, yum.
So Kahiao, is that some kind of kale? Something with kale?
Oh no, it's matcha green tea. Deliciousness.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like soy milk, vanilla, fat-free yogurt, and matcha. It's yumminess.
Really?
Yeah, I love matcha. It's so good.
I don't think I've had matcha. You guys have had matcha?
I don't think I had a matcha any of that. So
You've had green tea before, Uncle. It's the same.
No, I've had green tea, but what green tea is matcha?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's actually ground tea leaf. I mean, yeah, tea leaf, but it's a special part of it's not ordinary tea leaf.
It's a good
Oh.
stuff.
I know what kind of leaf it is, huh, Uncle? You know what kind, right? There you go. I knew
Special
you knew.
tea.
Like that kind of tea. That's
Special tea.
right. Specialty. I knew what it was. I knew what it was.
Got him
Okay.
from Keone. Got him from Keone.
I noticed Wiedemeyer woke up all of a sudden. Oh
Got you
my
been beating
goodness.
up. Got Yow's been beating up those bags lately. I see on the.
Woo!
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm in training, bro.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's awesome. I love boxing. Oh my gosh. I used to love watching boxing with my dad. That's like the only sport my dad loved was boxing. He didn't do football, basketball. The only time we did sports was when the Olympics were in town in 1984. And we saw track and field. We saw polo up in Beverly Hills.
Mm.
I don't know if anybody was around here in 1984 for the LA Olympics, but yeah, he loved boxing. So I kind of like
Yeah.
boxing. I never thought I'd be into it, but I'm so into it right now.
That's
Wow.
good.
I'm like, boxing.
I think the closest I get to that is boxers. Okay, too much information. I'm sorry.
Hey, Kamaka, you gotta keep this brief now.
So Kayao, that's good cardio, yeah? Good for the heart. Get
It's
the
good
heart.
for the heart. You don't realize you use your entire body in boxing. You think it's just arm strength. It's not. It's everything. From your head to your toe, from your core, upper body, your hips,
Hips, yeah.
legs, your knees, everything.
Just like hula.
Like hula. You have to no, you're right, Auntie. You have to remember to breathe. There's a little bit of choreography in boxing, right?
Right?
There's a little bit of choreography, which I'm just now. And my trainer Alex, shout out to Alex if you're out there, Alex. He's so awesome. He's so patient with me. I kind of told him what my goals were, and he kind of structures my training around what I cannot do with my limitations. But he pushes me too. So shout out to Alex. But yeah, there's a lot of choreography to boxing that I didn't really realize. I thought that was kind of a natural flow of fighting, but no, you have to have it up in
It's
here.
an actual dance.
Yeah. So I gotta give credit. I've seen boxing in a whole new light now. I gotta give it up.
Oh, you got hit in the head.
No. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. I'm more of the offense, not defense right now. So
Okay.
Pop that way. Pop that
But
way.
You know, it's
I
all
can just on me slide.
There you go. There you go.
I tell you,
Get in
it's
the
all
rhythm.
fun and games until you get punched in the nose. So you got to watch out now,
Right?
Oh dear.
But it's great for stress.
oh, okay.
That part that you saw on Facebook was he always likes to wrap up my day with a little bit of just like kind of freestyle.
You
So
beat
he
the
said
hell
this
out of him.
was-
Trust me. You beat the hell out of him. Just say it, okay? You beat the hell out of that poor boy. He was getting tired already, okay?
I had a lot of pent up frustration.
I guess so. Oh my goodness.
That's
It's good. It's so hard. You literally feel, and I know people in the military understand this. What they say when when you have pain, it's weakness leaving your body,
Mm-hmm.
right? I felt that with every punch. I can't do another one. I can't do another one. And then you do another one, and then you do another one. So you're just purely exhausted.
Oh.
But then you're like, that felt really good.
So
Even though I'm so exhausted, it felt really good.
say that again. Pain is just what?
Weakness
Weakness.
leaving your body.
Pain is weakness leaving your body.
Yeah.
What a concept, huh, Kamaka?
Because when you don't wear pants, we have pain. That's what basically comes down to. We have a lot of pain when you don't wear pants. Like, oh,
Yeah.
oh God, I don't want to.
That's what they do in basic training, right? They knock you down, and they build you up from scratch to be a soldier, right? So Pain is weakness leaving your body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow, I have not heard that before. Pain is weakness leaving.
Someone else, you guys have heard that right before. Anyone else heard that before?
Oh, yeah.
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 No, pain means I
You're
need
the only one, Uncle.
Yeah.
I guess I'm weak.
pain
You know,
for
you
me
gotta
is
show
I
your
got
life.
to
Dark.
What's that, Stanford?
pain for me is I did something wrong or I just gotta stop already.
Got it. Got it. You know, pain for me is when anti-heady fly the slipper hit my head. I feel pain. But I don't see weakness leaving my body. I see one lump growing on my head.
That's the weakness. That's
Oh,
the
that's
weakness.
what it is.
In Kali, they call that parking lot therapy.
I think they call it the same thing in Palolo, if I'm not mistaken.
That's it.
Oh, that's for parenting.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And you know, I noticed through all of this, Dr. Ken Ing has been very quiet. He's been just observing this. And he's thinking about Tai Chi and he's thinking
Well,
about
you know,
all the moves.
actually, what I was thinking about were those wicked uppercuts that Kahiao was throwing. I mean, uppercut, hook. I'm like, wow.
I've tried meditation. I've tried it, Uncle Ken.
Well, actually,
you know-
hitting the bag is meditation, you know?
I tried the bag, and can I tell you, I tried the bag last week. I don't know if anyone's. It's very difficult.
You mean
I
heavy
had a
bag?
hard time with the hard bag. Yeah, the hanging.
Ah.
It's like a brick wall, isn't it?
Well, that hit me in the head. That hit me. I didn't realize when it swings, it's gonna swing back and hit me in the face. So
Sometimes it fights back.
yeah, so I need more
Wow.
practice on that. It's really a timing thing with that. But
Is that the heavy bag or just the?
yeah, the heavy bag. I
Heavy
got
bag,
introduced
yeah.
to that last week. I didn't like it so much.
When you do the heavy bag, that's where the ballet comes in. Every time it comes back at you, you got to move to where it is. So you hit it this way, then you got to move to see where it's coming. That's the
Yeah.
ballet part. That's
Yeah,
where-
he forgot to mention that part. So
Footwork.
Especially when you're using guitars.
Wow.
it's my different kind of meditation. You know?
It's same like football. You know, when you got to hit the bag, sometimes you got to roll backwards and then go at the bag again. It's all a ballet thing. When you're going into the line, and coach knows, when you're going in line, you have one thing in common. Get the quarterback. That's all your chart says. Quarterback has
Yeah.
next to it. And you don't care what you have to do to get through that line. If there's 5 guys on you, you kind of go, okay, it's done, guys. I'm not going through 5 guys. But when that one little guy gets in your way, it's a steamroll through him, and hopefully you don't hit the ref. That's all you got to do. Make sure don't hit the ref. So
I think I don't know. Has anyone ever tried something that they've never tried before, but for some reason you're like, hey, I'll try it. Have no idea. I didn't know anything about boxing. Didn't even know how to put the gloves on right. But I just felt like it was time for me to try something new. I don't know. I don't know what came over me.
I
know.
tried kale once. I didn't like it.
And what happened? What was the outcome?
The outcome was this.
We don't wanna know.
Knock you out, bro. Knock you out. Let go.
Green juice.
What was bok choy?
I don't know what happened because kale used to be just a kind of decoration on a plate you don't eat, and all of a sudden it became like a main course salad, and everybody was eating kale. I don't know who started that, but
I think it was a genius in marketing. Probably who worked for Jamba Juice probably discovered that.
There you go.
Yeah. It had to have been a genius in marketing.
But, you
Kale's
know,
the new lettuce. No, it's not. It's terrible.
Kayao, you mentioned footwork, and I want to ask Coach Marty over here, talking about sports. I mean, and we were talking about hula, and quite seriously, right? You're talking about positioning your feet, how your feet moves with your body in hula. Same thing in boxing, and I think, Coach, referring to athletes as well, and even in football. I mean, there's a lot of positioning yourself, footwork, right, to get the most power on your forward motion.
But feet work in football on both sides of the ball is absolutely everything.
Yeah, balance. Keep your
One bad step, it can end right there. So yeah, footwork. I can't tell you as many hours spent just on having the kids step and step and step. And yeah, it is the most important part of the line, elite, well, for all positions, but the line especially. Yeah, it's you bring up a good point, Kamaka, because it is, I tell the kids it's like a choreographed dance. You've got to take these steps. They have to be right. And it's I tell them it's poetry in motion.
I remember when I was back east at Camp Lejeune, my dad was there. Our high school, they had all the football players and all the basketball players taking ballet. So they wouldn't have the injuries. They'd be able to pivot right, and they were in balance.
The NFL has done that. There's NFL teams that have done the exact same thing.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, Auntie, for a minute there, I thought you were going to say you played football. I was scared already. Holy
I
smokes.
wanted to.
Oh, my goodness.
I wanted to, but I would have to cut my hair. And I said, no.
So having said that, I'm just wondering, does footwork come into play when you're casting, Stanford? You said you're going to teach little one to casting when you're fishing. Is there a pivot and is there footwork involved when you're casting to get the best power when casting when you're fishing?
Yeah, and then also it also pays to know where you're stepping, or else you fall in the lake and hurt your knee.
Sounds like you're saying that from experience, Stanford.
Yeah, you cast yourself.
Well, what made you think that?
No.
I will say, and this is for Coach Marty, because he did mention, was it on the porch or was it Stanley Goen? Was it on the porch or was it on the Baboo's crew? He was talking about Naked and Afraid.
Oh, man. Not again.
No, seriously, was it on the porch or I get some?
It was on the Baboo's. Yeah.
Okay. So Marty mentions, and I don't know how we got on the subject, how it led to that, because the Baboo's crew, the conversation meanders even more radical than this one.
We don't know where we're going, basically.
I don't even know how we got on that subject, but Coach Marty mentioned, have you ever watched on the Discovery Channel, the series that's been going on for quite a few years. In fact, 7 or 8 seasons or so, if I'm not mistaken, or more. And they put these people in the one I was watching was in the Amazon. And it was actually, I looked at it because I was kind of binging on it on Sunday. And I think I texted you, Marty, that I was watching it. It was like 2017, was it? And they were in the Ecuadorian, in Ecuador, in the Amazon. And one of the guys, and I was thinking about Hawaii, one of the guys had a throw net with the weights on it. And apparently when they take you, the producers, they take these people and they take off all their clothes and all their parts are blurred out. So, and nothing, but what they do is in this one episode, you could bring one tool with you. So one person brought a big machete, another person brought this, brought that. And one of the guys brought a throw net. So I was going, oh, so then he was like, throwing the net. And I remember watching my uncle, like Ken, Uncle Mantle.
Uncle Mantle.
Right? He was like an incredible, the Hawaiian word, lavaya. Is that the Hawaiian? I think lavaya is the Hawaiian word for fisherman. And it was all about, throwing with your weight, your hip, and getting a perfect balance where you throw enough, half of the weighted, because the net is weighted by these heavy lead, right? Over your shoulder, depends if you're left or right hand. And then just the right balance. And then when you throw, you get that wide, span. And it all depends on your hip motion and where your legs are. So the continuity about me mentioning it was when I saw that throw net, and we're talking about placing your feet and pivoting at the hip and getting your whole body into that motion for a successful, deployment of the throw net. And I was thinking about our uncle Peter, Ken, who was amazing with the throw net, you know? Yeah.
You know, if I could real quick, Mark, on the Sunday night on the current episodes, they're in, I forget what swamp they're in, but
San Diego.
they have, you know,
DC.
the veterans that have done this numerous times, different adventures, and they separated them all throughout the swamp. They don't know each other's there, and ultimately, you know, people have been bowing out that can't handle the circumstances, because you've seen Kamaka the show. I mean, you're out there and you have to survive. There's it's quite interesting to see how they get food and how they survive. And but anyways, last night a couple guys decided they had to move on, and they were going down river, and they happened to see smoke coming up from the bushes, and they found another team and merged with them. And but it's interesting to see how, you know, they go out and they have to find their own food. They have to, some of the stuff they eat is, I think we were talking about on the baboos, the nutria, you know, the big old humongous rat that you know, they were catching and eating. Or, you know, this current series, a couple of them been able to snag a couple alligators. But, yeah, very interesting.
I think what they should do on that show is to get a bunch of them, take them out to Makaha and Nanakuli Waianae, and cut them loose down there, and see if those guys can survive out there with the brothers. I'm just saying, I might write to the producers and suggest the Waianae coast as see if you can. So they had like a 20 days and then 40 days. I would say I would take it, I don't know,
Day half.
a day and a half.
Do it.
I
No
just
problem.
don't get it. Like, first of all, the difference between now and centuries ago is that, you know, there's something else, right? So when the first people were roaming the earth, they didn't know any better. They don't have cell phones and technology, so they really are surviving, and they really were naked and alone. That's my first thing. Number two is that, why do we have to add the nakedness to it? Like, surviving out in the middle of nowhere is already hard enough. But then for the show, you know what I mean? But then to add the nakedness, I know, maybe because I'm female, I'm just like, why? Why is that necessary?
Ratings.
Like, it would, right.
Ladies.
So it's just for, is it for exploiting, or is it for...
Absolutely,
don't
that's
know.
what it's.
Let's
It's-
defer
it's a
to our
selling
naked
tool.
and afraid expert, Marty Burns. So
You know, I got to be honest though with you, just like you see the people on the show, and for me, who I do watch it every Sunday night, you really get removed from the naked part of it, because you're more into how they're surviving, and like you said, Kamaka, everything's blurred anyways. You're not, you know,
yeah.
it might as well be that they're wearing clothes, because you're not seeing anything.
Well, you know, after the first 5 minutes of me looking really hard, then I realized that everything was blurred out.
Yeah, you kept cleaning your
I
glasses.
kept going, you know what, is this, can I really, you know, so just stop it, Stanley. So, but seriously, Marty.
I miss Pua. God.
Oh, she would
You
have
know,
jumped on
that
that.
Pulalia would be going off on this, man. She would be just going off.
She would have jumped on it.
Oh, I just love it. And you know what I was thinking though, Marty, as I was watching this Amazon, the Ecuador one, and it was shot in 2017. And finally, Auntie Kay came and said, "What are you watching?" I said, "Come here." And we sat down, and she watched the rest of that season with us. And the next day she goes, "Oh, let's watch some more of it." You know, in the Amazon, seriously, I mean, with the scorpions, with the snakes, with, you know, all of the poisonous stuff, with the red ants, they had, like, you know, just biting them and all that. I would wonder, and of course there's a camera crew that's there, obviously, and there's also medic, because a couple times somebody got hurt really bad, fractured his knee when he slipped on the mud, and he called medic, and then in comes the guys with the medic and hauled a couple of them out of there. But you could get injured that could affect the rest of your life with the poison and stuff and all of that.
Don't forget the piranha fish.
There's piranha as well. They were in there and they was catching piranha. They was going night fishing with a torch, catching piranha, and I'm going, yeah, that would be no. Where's Stanford Toshiro is my question. I thought I saw him in the background, him and little one casting on the other side of the Amazon. But
Actually, piranhas generally don't attack people.
uh-huh.
I'll take your word for it, but you know.
They're actually
Yeah, I'm with Stanley. I'll take your word for it.
Yep.
piranhas are actually very skittish and stuff. Because there's other fish that actually eats them.
So they're edible. It's edible fish.
They're eating piranha. Yeah.
People in the Amazon, they eat piranha, and then they also use the jaw to cut hair.
Oh.
Wait, say that again. What?
They use the teeth of the piranha to trim hair.
Oh.
I got a razor blade.
Who knew? Fun fact. Fun fact about the Amazon.
Get away from me with the piranha teeth there. What the?
But you know, actually, someone on that show, I forgot what season, but they were kind of dared to eat a slug, and they actually got rat lung disease from it. Almost died.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There's been a couple times they've eaten something that has sent them directly to emergency because the reaction from whatever it was that they ate.
I can't imagine how many legal forms they have to sign away to get on that show.
Right?
First of all, what kind of contestant wants to go on that show? What do they get at the end for surviving?
$1 million?
Gold star? What do you get?
$1 million?
Good job. I mean, what do you get? Bragging rights?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like this current one, it has the veterans. Some of them, this is their 4th, 5th, 6th challenge, and they keep coming back for more. And yeah, they take it as a notch in the belt that they can survive in their expertise in hunting and building shelter. And so it's a big. I mean, they're very proud of. You could tell what they achieve out there. Making their structure, being able to hunt and survive. So it is, I mean, you ask yourself who would put themselves in that condition, and now some of them have done it numerous times. It's crazy.
And then they come back to their regular city and get hit by a bus. Oh, naked and afraid. I don't want to interrupt this, but you know the one on Hawaii. And remember you said there was one on Oahu, I think it was, or Maui, one of the two, and it was BBD and afraid. I'm not sure which one it was. But I know it was on there. I saw it before, so I'm just letting you guys know. Pretty sure I saw it.
I think it was in Wailuku. Was it in Maui?
No, bro, that's Lahaina side. No worries.
That was Lahaina.
We don't care about those guys.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, you got to think about that. You know, military, they have all branches have a survival class they go through, especially flyers and all that stuff. It's not like that because you got stuff on your belt to take care of you, and you got 24 hours to get back to the base. And if you don't get there, well, they go look for you. But this is like all on, go in and do this on the Amazon. Don't get bit by anything, and don't let a snake grab your okole. And I'm like, you know what? I'll watch it on TV with Uncle Marty and Brother Burrow. But there's no way. There is no way. My body is too beautiful to go in that swamp.
Well, you know, hey, Stanley, you know I was on Naked and Afraid, the Sandy Beach edition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Marty, was there any film from that at all? That we could
Pictures.
You know what? And unfortunately, there are pictures.
What platform is that live? Is that streaming? I think that's that season. What platform is that streaming from?
Oh my goodness. My goodness. I take it, Uncle Larry, you've never had any jungle experiences or any kind of situation that put you at odds with the elements at all as you were going through the early years, Uncle Larry?
A little bit here and there. Way deep in Palolo, we tried to climb the mountain one time. Everybody got scared, and we turned around. We were halfway there, and then we turned around. We went home. We were about 12 years old, stupid. No shoes, no water. We just started going and going and going and going. But we looked at each other. We got kind of chicken, you know. We turned around. We went home.
So was it something that scared you, or was it just?
Well, yeah, we felt we were getting deeper and deeper, and you know, we didn't bring water or anything, just impromptu. We said, let's, you know, pass Crusher. You know, we walk all the way up, and we were gone for about 6-7 hours, but we all ran back home.
I think they saw Kamaka and they were afraid. I don't know. That's what it was going on.
They're afraid their mother was waiting for them at home. That's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, that quarry is way up. The rock quarry is way up there.
We were real high too. We could see the ocean, you know, down by past Diamond Head, seeing Waikiki.
Yeah,
it was a nice scene, though. It was very nice from way up in Pololo. You look down, you see the ocean. Yeah, that was an experience. We all remember that. We reminisce in later years. We talk about, hey, remember when we were brave? We were going to climb up Ko'olau and go see Waimanalo on the other side. I said, no way, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's actually the perfect place to grow the stuff that Uncle John grows, you know, in that area. It grows and grows, and it pops out like 20 feet. It keeps going. Some guys forget where they put the stuff, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. The only way you find out is like, oh, look, what's that down there? Oh, we know what it was.
Yeah, Stanley, how else can he afford all those beautiful papalias he's got all the damn time?
I didn't want to say anything, so, you know.
We know he's got a side hustle. We know
I'm
this.
telling, yeah, it's those little things in the bottle. I'm telling you.
I know.
Got a whole bunch of those. Told me there were seeds. Yeah, I understand, Uncle. Seeds. Yeah, I get it.
By the way, talking about Keone's papali and his hulu on his hulu papa over there, it was a real. I'm not sure how many of you were on with us on Aloha Friday this past Friday. Tuila, yes. It was really interesting. Our guest was, and Kumu Mahealani Linder suggested a Kumu Hulu feather worker from Kaneohe. That's third generation feather worker. Her grandmother, what is the name now?
Auntie Mary, right?
Was it
Mary?
Auntie Mary.
Mary something though.
No, I think it was. Oh my goodness, Auntie Lou. Oh man, her name was Kekueva.
Yeah, Bernadette.
I thought it starts with an L. My brain is failing me at the moment, but she was a Kekueva, and this was back in the 50s that she began to resurrect. Getting more people involved. She was involved with my auntie Kupuna Mauna Kea with I don't know how many of you remember Ulumau Village at Ala Moana Park.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she was this Kumu Kikueva was one of the founders of Ulumau Village, along with my Ken's and my auntie. Our mothers are sisters to Kupuna Mauna Kea from Nanakuli, and they were the founders of Ulumau Village. And this was even before they had Polynesian Cultural Center. There was, of course, the hotels still had all the wiki-wacky, the touristy stuff. Right. But this Ulumau Village really was one of the first modern day contemporary efforts to demonstrate real Hawaiian culture, poi making, lauhala weaving, feather works and things of that sort that was not being taught to anywhere at all, aside from the olelo, from the language and stuff. So this was in the late 60s, early 70s. So anyway, 3 generations later comes Kumu Hulu Meli Kahali Puna Chun is her name. And so her grandmother, and then her mother, and then herself. And so she's coming to California, I think in another couple of weeks, and then she's going to Clovis for a pretty big workshop up there, Clovis, California. But talking to her was so amazing. If you didn't have a chance to see it, probably in a couple of days, because we're loading it now and Lono is editing it, and we'll throw it up on our YouTube channel. But if you missed it, we'll put it up and you can get a chance to see it. It was quite good. They had a store in Kapuhulu, on Kapuhulu Avenue forever, that her grandmother started. And it was like a focal point for the Hawaiian community to come and learn about it. Do you remember that, Auntie Hetty?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think, after her mom passed away and the grandmother passed away, and then they went through COVID, it was a tough time. So she really was very fortunate because they moved. They don't have the shop in Kapuhulu anymore, but they have moved to Lures on Beach Walk upstairs at it's called the Royal Room, and it has a lot of the artifacts there. And in the back, all of the feather works and the cloaks and all of that are there from the shop. And she teaches feather work, anybody that wants to learn. And it was quite a just really amazing discussion, with her, really warm. And then as a bonus, I start mentioning my auntie Kupuna Mauna Kea, and she says, well, how are you related? We turn out that she's my cousin because she married Kupuna Mauna Kea's son, cousin Joby, Ken, and cousin Joby's daughter married in and boom, and then lives in Colorado. So we find out that we are ohana. It was like, oh my goodness, how sweet, how sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't stay to watch it, so I'm going to watch the YouTube.
Yeah.
But I just saw the picture, the kahilis in the back of her, just lovely. Yeah.
And something that was interesting, and Keone, I was thinking about you and about your wife and how you folks, and something I never thought about. She says, she's at the point, just like her mom and her grandmother, she can look at somebody's feather work and can tell what the lineage of the feather worker, where they learned feather working.
Yeah.
And
Style, I think of the style.
Right, the style. And I went,
styling and
leave a signature, like
they leave a signature, and only those that are to the work, to that art would know that. And so she was very clear in saying there are many feather workers, and there are lots of across the country and throughout the islands, and many of these who trace their lineage back have a particular way of doing the feather work. I was going, wow, that's amazing. Truly amazing.
On the Big Island, when actually we were in Volcano, or my classmate, we had gone to Mary Monarch that year, and his neighbor was a feather lehulu. Anyway, he took me over there to her house, and oh my gosh, she did the lehulu where you cannot see the stitches at all. Just beautiful. Oh my goodness, I was in lehulu heaven.
Something that she mentioned.
I could tell on the designs and what she was doing that she came from a different lineage that Auntie Mary was from.
Yeah.
Kamaka.
An interesting point was Hawaiians did not have jewelry like so many of the other Aboriginal native tribes around the world. They didn't have any metal. They didn't have any precious stones, And if you look at a lot of the different ethnic groups around the world, they had all, for their jewelry and for their adornment, they had some kind of metal or precious stones or something of that sort. Hawaiians didn't have it. So the feathers were Hawaiian jewelry. And I never thought about it in that way. Tuila?
I was going to say, Consuelo is studying under her.
Yes.
Become Kumu Lehulu.
Yeah. She was talking about she's working toward her uniki, and fabulous. So, Keone, tell us about how you and your wife learned about feather working. Who did you learn from, and of the feather working for you guys?
We learned from a lady who was born and raised on Molokai, and she was raised. We went to school in a convent, And from what I heard, she lived near the Molokai Ranch where there was a lot of paniolos. And every night, the paniolos after work and having dinner, they would gather around the barn with their ukuleles and guitars, and they would play and sing songs for a while. And this lady, Auntie Amelia, she would go out and join them. And that's how she learned all the old Hawaiian songs. And she didn't say how she learned featherwork, but
From Auntie Mary, that used to be in Carson.
Auntie Mary Kovich.
Kovich, yes, Auntie Mary Kovich.
okay. Anyway, she started a class in Harbor City, and a few of us went there like every week, and everybody had to learn all the different styles, building the feather lace from scratch, like take an actual pelt from a duck or a pheasant, whatever you had, and you had to pluck all the feathers out, and you had to separate them according to color or size, whatever, and put them in a little cloth bag, and you had to put them in the wash machine and wash it. Because then take all the oil out, the bugs eventually would come and eat the feathers. And there are like different styles of feather lace. Not only the flat ones like this, but when they cut the feathers, they trim it. Every feather has to be trimmed, and it's cut in two pieces. And the bottom piece is the one that they use. One part is the one that they use for this type. Then the other part, they make like a round lay that goes around the hat, and it's called a second cut kamoe lay hood. So each feather has to be sorted out because the feathers are kind of different, If it comes from one side of the bird, it leans on the left side, and if it comes from the other side of the bird, it's the right side. So you have to really be able to look at the feather and determine if it's the left or right, and then you separate them. Then,
Wow.
there's a lot to be learned.
It's very finite, very finite.
And then after you trim all the feathers, you have to learn how to set up the felt, because there's a certain way that they have to sew the felt together to make a good feather lace. And then each feather has to be sewn 4 times according to the way they made it. I don't know, maybe some other people will say sew it 3 times or 2 times, whatever. But Auntie Amelia insisted that they do each feather 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah. And then after the group all learned to make feather lace, she said, okay, you guys all can make feather lace now. We don't have to have class. What are we gonna do? I said, I know. I'm gonna teach you guys hula. So I said, no way, I can dance hula. Now she's really into it. She goes to class every week, and their class has shows. In fact, there's one coming up on the 26th. I don't know. One of the parks. What's the name of the park where Darlene used to live at Erie?
Darlene? Oh,
I think it's a
Shadow Park?
yeah, Shadow Park.
Shadow Park.
Shadow Park, they're having a show.
Nice.
On the 26th.
Nice.
Of
You
this
know,
one?
there's a website that talking about the feather. It's called featherlegacy.com. Featherlegacy.com. And I use a lot of the information during our discussion there. And to your point, Keone, on the different style of hulu, the rolled, the rolled style, the ones that look like flower buds, and all these different ones were, and I was very amazed at knowing virtually zero other than the beauty of the feather lace, the different types, the roll type and the flower bud type. And then the hatband was probably the latest or the last, because Hawaiians didn't have the material or needles, because you need the needles to thread with the bunches and to secure them to the felt to make the hats. Hawaiians didn't have that till after the missionaries came. So the hatbands were one of the last, because the Hawaiians didn't have that initially when they were making, the lays, the feather lays like that. So really interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Kamaka is a small world. My Auntie Amelia was my boss's sister-in-law. Her husband was my boss's brother, Frank. He worked for the FAA. So one time, about 20 years ago, whatever, Haiti used to go practice on Friday nights, and a lot of traffic. She go to 91 and a Harbor Freeway down to, like Keone said, Harbor City. So I said, where are you going? She said, blah, blah, blah. And Auntie Amelia. I said, oh, Auntie Amelia. And then later on, I keep asking her. She said, well, her husband's Frank. Then I started to put two and two together, because she mentioned the last name. And I said, ask her if her husband worked for the FAA, which is my boss's brother, right? Sure enough, I found out that was my boss's
Mimura.
Yeah, my boss's brother. So what a small world. And then I found out my dad called me from Hawaii and said, Larry, you know this guy Mimura? I said, why you ask me that? That's my boss. He said, well, his brother is my boss. the other brother in Hawaii was a superintendent of the docks at Honolulu Harbor. So he was my dad's, superior. But man, what a small world. And then Hetty used to go, and I accompanied her later on. But they used to have hula dancing there and play ukulele and all that. We see her sometime. The last time we seen her, Keone, a couple years ago? She was down here, yeah. But she's a Molokai girl and authentic, man. Authentic. Small world.
Yeah. And the world keeps getting smaller and smaller every day, it seems, doesn't it?
Spooky.
Yeah, really, really. So I cannot go any further this evening without thinking about ways to cook trout. And I was talking with Stanford this past weekend. He was coming back from a fishing jaunt with the little one, and you had quite a nice catch there, Stanford, huh? For between you and.
Yeah, we both limited out with 10 total.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was kind of short work because we started fishing at 5:30, and by 8:45 we were packing up.
Wow. Yeah.
Getting ready to go to Vince's.
Yes.
I don't want fish. I want Vince's, okay?
First
Spaghetti.
was going to Bass Pro to resupply, and then it's like, oh, gee, Vince's is on the way home.
Yep, let's go.
I saw that great spaghetti lunch over there. That looks, and it was like meatball. You can just get a meatball with sauce.
So yeah, you can order a meatball. I mean, it's like $2.75 each.
But it's big though.
Yeah, it's big.
It's
but
a big dog. Yeah.
The meatball is big, but it's nice and soft.
Yeah, it's soft.
It's not.
Through.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not compacted. It's like easy to cut, almost like beef Wellington when you cut it open like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Just like that.
So Stanford, and I just thinking of this, when you eat that meatball, and I'm like that when I eat a dish that's ono, I start taking it apart in my head. What are the components, of the dish? So what is it that makes that meatball, tender or fluffy or whatever descriptor you want to use? What is it that makes it that texture?
Hamburger.
Anybody can put hamburger in a hamburger, but I mean,
I think it's not. I don't know, because that's one of the things that I was going to try to make is a meatball, but from what I hear is like how you mix it, and I don't know, like some people over mix it and really compact it when they're forming it, and some just I was watching. I would do some research, and they said lightly roll it, or that kind of approach. So I don't know.
Sometimes it's a combination of, they also mix in ground pork into it.
Yeah.
So I guess the traditional is beef, veal, and pork.
It's a proper combination of this and that. The proper combination. Just like adobo, the proper combination of vinegar and shoyu, 60.
But you gotta know that sometimes the bull wins, okay? So
the proper ratio.
I don't know if everybody got that, but sometimes the bull wins. I'm just saying.
Okay,
not all the time that I'm just saying.
But Uncle Kamaka, I haven't tried your suggestion for cooking trout yet. I don't know. I don't know if that will work.
Well, it all started from Stanford saying, I said, well, you're gonna, cook the trout in a particular way. And he said, quote unquote, I don't think there's any other recipe in the whole wide world, in the civilized world, and perhaps other planets, that have not, a recipe that has not been tried by moi as the trout fisherman, because and Rosie can testify to that. He said that there are no other recipes. If there any recipe you're going to mention, I've already done it. And so I said, have you done trout and pork and beans? I just asked the question.
I'm so embarrassed for the Portuguese race. You know that? I apologize to all the Portuguese out there for this one. I just want to let everybody know that right now, okay? I'm so embarrassed.
And then Uncle, what was my reply?
I don't remember, because I was expecting some profanity coming across, but then I remembered little one was in the car.
I just said, what? Trout and pork and beans. That's something for the Portuguese Navy.
Thank you.
Pork and beans and gravy, right?
Right.
Portuguese Navy.
I know Portuguese Navy.
Bread and gravy, just the Portuguese Navy.
There you go. I knew Auntie knew it. Come on, Auntie. Sing it out loud. Be proud.
Fight for Portugal.
There you go. I knew you were Portuguese all along. There you go. All right.
Because,
I've tried so many different recipes for trout. It's almost like, Forrest Gump talking about shrimp. But we got our first year, when I started fishing and all that, we got tired of eating trout. So, yeah. But I like catching it. I have no problem catching it.
Trout is such a mild fish, right?
Do you give it away to every?
I gut it, clean it off, cut the heads off, freeze it, vacuum seal, freeze it, and give it away.
Wow.
So, trout fishing for me is my form of relaxation. Instead of bag or
instead of boxing.
Instead of that. you know, I have my movement, you know, my yoga movement like here.
You don't need a note. You don't need a note now, bro. Don't need a note for both.
You know, I get my footwork in.
There you go. Yeah.
You get
And
the
then I get my cardio in.
So I'm just curious, Rosie, while your husband and your dear daughter are off on their fishing expedition, what is your expectation when they come home? What typically is going to happen when you come home? Is there
Well, they unload the car of any perishable items. We'll put the fish in the fridge for cleaning the next day, which we have to still clean the fish. So after this, we're going to be cleaning fish. And then, you know, depending on, they usually come back late. So then we just clean up just enough and then they go to bed. But because they came back so early, Stan took a nap, we watched some TV.
Yeah, it was Sunday. You could have watched Naked and Afraid.
Lord, here we go. Once again.
I usually go with them. I usually go fishing, but because I didn't feel I was physically up to it, so I didn't go for the past 2 trips, and I just stayed home and watched TV.
But the little one, she's my lucky charm because every time I go fishing with her, I catch at least one.
Good luck charm.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you guys leaving the house by 1 a.m. in the morning, it would dim my enthusiasm about going on fishing. I would say go find the spot and I'll join you later. But
well, that's why we leave so early, is so we can get the spot.
I have my secret spot, and you know, if I don't go there early, everybody that knows where I go fishing, they seek after that spot. But they're not crazy enough to get there at like 3 a.m.
There's no chance we can actually follow you in the car at 1 a.m. in the morning. So it's still secret, because I know everybody on this panel would say, "See you later, bye." Because no way any of us are waking up at 1 o'clock. I can tell you right now. So you're safe with that spot. Except for we tomorrow. I'm not sure. So.
We usually haven't gone to bed yet at 1 o'clock in the morning.
The time I leave is 1 o'clock, not when I wake up.
Like I said.
Even
So
sleeping.
we get there about 3, claim our spot, and then take a nap until the lake opens.
At 5:30.
Yeah. So what's your best fishing? Do you have an all-time great fishing story from all of your fishing adventures with the Toshiro family there? Any fishing, great fish stories that you always remember?
That one time the whale came up and oh my goodness, it was that long.
Got away.
I went fishing with in the ocean with a coworker. He had a small boat, you know, and we went out and we were off Laguna Beach, and we were drifting. We saw a bunch of birds, so we headed right there. And then as soon as we got to the spot, we saw a gray whale. So we had to cut the engines, and then we drifted. And this whale was with a calf, and we're like, "Oh no!"
Oh wow!
The whales were feeding, and that's why the birds were there also. And we thought, oh great, we're in the middle of where they're feeding with a calf. It's a mother. You know, one swipe and we're toast, right? No, instead, well, so we were kind of like, kind of a little nervous. The whale circled our boat along with this calf, and then it got within, I don't know, I could reach out and touch it, and that's what I did. We had eye-to-eye contact, and it was just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, and then after we touched it, it just took off.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Are he didn't have the touch.
Yeah, you could have been Jonah.
Did you see? I saw that in tonight's news. There was a guy in where there's a motorized kayak or a boat.
Kayak.
He wanted to go from San Francisco to Hawaii.
Right.
What?
And he started on May 31st. And I guess he got hit with some bad weather, some big waves that knocked out his GPS and stuff. So he had to be rescued. So there was a picture of him, and there's an orchid lei that's hanging. Did you see that? There's an orchid lei that's hanging on the side over there, all wilted, all discouraged because he's gonna still try and make it.
He said he's gonna try again.
You're gonna try again. Oh my goodness. Oh my
goodness. Coast Guard rescued him.
That's not Portuguese.
It's not a regular kayak. It's
Portuguese. We would have made it already. No, if we had to swim, we would have made it.
It's a fancy looking high tech kayak.
Yes.
It's not the plain ones. But anyway, we'll see. He said he's going to try again.
Goodness. Catherine Bachnight has joined us. Hey, Catherine.
Hey.
Hey, Pasadena. Hey. What's going on?
It's kind of cold over here.
Oh. Got a little chilly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We were just kind of swapping fishing stories over here. And Stanford was just sharing his encounter with a mama whale and her calf.
I heard.
Oh, really? That's good.
That's sweet.
Ken and I have had an uncle Mano, who was a great fisherman. And whenever we have family parties, right, Kenny, he would tell some tall tales about fishing. And his favorite spot was Hanama Bay. Hanama Bay when you walk down on the far side, there's a trail along that you can go along the rocks, and you go all the way out to the point.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And as long as the waves weren't crashing there and stuff, fishermen will go. Have you done that over there, Stanford?
Never fished, but walked all the way around the point to the other side.
Yeah.
Where they call the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
The toilet bowl.
Yeah.
You cannot fish inside the sanctuary though, right?
Not inside the sanctuary, but on the other side. But
on the outside, right?
Yeah. The other side of the point. Yeah, if you go to the other side of the point, you can fish there.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I'm gonna say you inside there, you won't get in trouble.
in trouble. But at any family gathering, my Uncle Mano, if there was a gathering of people all together, he would have them mesmerized with some great fishing stories, where he'd be standing there, and he'd be there. It's a full moon, and it's almost like daylight. And then this wave is coming up, and the wave is coming up, and the moonlight's coming through the wave, and you can see the fish going back and forth in a wave, And I was looking up, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this wave going to hit me. So I grabbed my cooler, because get the beer inside the cooler. The stories he would tell about fishing were just amazing. How many of it was embellished and how many of it was truth is still we'll never know. So Wiedemeyer, you ever go fishing? You ever either go out on a boat or
I'll get you a fishing story, bro. I was going fishing. So I jump on my car. It was early, it was real early. I stayed going to the get some fish. So I stayed driving, and then I get to my secret spot. I was at the secret spot, and I went inside to my secret spot. I told the man, I want the one over there for the sashimi. I like the poke with the limo inside. All that kind of, can fish.
I tell you.
Get some old go and he will go.
Oh boy.
Did you have some sake on the side?
Oh,
there you go. Nah, but I did go fishing one time out on the boat, and it was right here in San Diego, and it was late at night. They went nighttime fishing, and more worse than the fish, you had to wait. The seals the seals. Every time you cast one line out, the seals come and eat your bait. The big old seal, the big kind, you know, like you see at the Sea Road, you cast a bait and the seals come by and eat your bait. So, but I did have an encounter with the whales.
At least I would
encounter with the whales.
Fish.
I went whale watching in the boat, and the captain said, "Oh, I got plenty of whales on one side of the boat. I forget whatever side it was, but I never see them. I was in the back of the boat, chumming the water for the whales to come. So the whales can come." In Monterey Bay, boy, the whales was coming plenty.
Boy, I tell you.
You know, seals will play it. Seals will play just about anything. They'll come up to you. I did a dive off of Catalina, my second dive to qualify, and we were in the kelp beds, going through the kelp beds, and I didn't think it was a good idea, but I wasn't in charge, and the instructor's like right here, so I'm behind him, and I saw this thing going through the water. Thought, this is a fish. That thing was a big fish, and he came up to me and popped me right in my lens, and then wanted to play. Well, I didn't know what that was, so I thought it was a creature from the Black Lagoon. So I went straight upwards and I blew everything out, and I had to go up because I didn't want the instructor's writing something real calm, grabbed my leg. Worst thing you can do, because when you grab somebody's leg underwater like that, I don't care what you are, you want to get out. Okay, I've seen all the scary movies. I've seen all the people go dead because you're the last one out. I don't want to be the last one out, and I was doing the 440, 490. I was going out. He grabbed my leg, pulled me back down. Worst thing for me, and he held up this dry eraser board. Where you going, stupid?
Those seals are fast. Seals are fast and they're big.
They are fast, but they want to play in the bubbles. When on your tank,
big, man.
Bubbles. They want to play in the bubbles so bad that they'll play with anything that makes bubbles. Well, there's a whole herd going down this way with Bubbles going crazy. He's going through everybody, and he pops me in the face. And I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. Yeah, talking about seals. Sorry.
So I was snorkeling one time off the Hoya Cove. You know the orange fish, the state fish. I was just down, following them around at the bottom, right? So I figured I need air now. I got to go back up. Big freaking seal above me. I said, how do I get up there? Those things are huge, man. The bug is this fast. I had one schoolfish go by. The things are just swooping all inside there. It's like, wow.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're not friendly like you see at the zoo, at the SeaWorld. They feed them fish and they go, no. Not the same.
Try go fishing and you feel the fish on your hook and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I lost a fish, and then the seal come up to the surface with your fish and to show you, hey, look what I got from you.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, the seal's smart, yeah. They bite the bait and they just take the bait part and leave the hook on the end. So you just get the head of the fish. That's all you get, the head.
So DC, have you had any fishing tales as well, DC?
Actually, no, not fish. One time, me and my dad went to the fish market, and we got a big Samoan crabs, And back in the day, they used to tie it up with rope, and we was taking the bus home, and when the crabs talk, and all the bubbles are coming out. The crab got loose, and the bags broke would break, and they were running around.
Crab on the bus.
People were jumping up on their seats. And the bus driver was saying, "Hey, Hawaiian, you better get your crab. I'm gonna stop this bus, and you two guys gonna get off." That was my extent of my.
Oh, wait, you got kicked off the bus because of your crabs? I'm just asking.
No, everybody.
The crabs got loose.
Oh, okay.
Underneath the chairs, running around there. Yeah.
See how quickly we go down the rabbit hole on the porch?
Well, I was just asking the question.
We're supposed to stop Halapa Housing. They let us off at Makalapa Gate. It's like 4 miles away. Maybe.
Or the Soli crab on the bus.
Oh, man. Oh, dear. I tell
I
you.
had to be there.
Yeah, you had to be there.
Well, knowing his dad, It had to be a hysterical story.
Yeah. I've seen some of the stories on YouTube where they put the crab in a pot and or the lobster even, and it's crab, and the crab just jumped right out of the pot on the floor, and everybody jumps on top of the dining room table and everything because here's this big old crab, everybody's like, and even the family dog is like barking, but then backing up because of the big, on there, full around. Goodness. Yeah. I know, Ken, your brother was a hunter. Your brother Stephen, talking about I don't know about fishing, but he's definitely a hunter, and he hunt with bow, right? Bow and arrow.
Well, actually, he goes both seasons, rifle and crossbow.
Crossbow.
So I know that for crossbow, it's like maybe a 3-week window. You can get a permit to go to Molokai or Lanai, and go for goat or antelope. Yeah, so he's into that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Stephen also goes. We used to go torch fishing on the reef with him, so that was fun too.
Wow.
But what was not fun was stepping off the reef and then all of a sudden I'm going down with the land.
Wow.
But the worst part was I had the carry bag on my waist, and we were putting we had octopus, in the bag.
Yeah.
We were way out. It was dark, and I felt something like crawling up my back. And it was this octopus that had gotten out of the bag and was like slowly making its way up my back. That was not fun, let me tell you. But let me tell you that octopus tasted really good the next morning. And I did go off of where was it? Off of is it San Pedro where they have the ocean fishing boats? I went with a friend of mine. He wanted to go, and I don't remember anything except lying on the cabin floor and puking over the edge. That was it. Oh,
A different kind of chumming the water, huh?
Hours, it was horrible.
Oh my goodness, yeah, island people, no matter where you're from, we all have some tales about the ocean, something, because we are so that's all part of our island DNA is the water, man. Who was I talking to? Oh, I know, Ted Makalena. I was talking to Ted a couple days ago, and apparently Pudge is moving probably down to Lake Elsinore area. They're looking in that area, so I think Pudge is going to be kind of out of our area. So they're looking. So Maka is going, I ain't going down there, man. It's too far away from the ocean. I got to stay by the ocean. Us island people, gotta be by the ocean. I said, I totally get it, man. Totally get it. So I always have to be, closer to the water. And I think we're all that way. We love being near the water, even if it's maybe we're not in it, but looking at the water or being by the ocean always brings us just special feelings. Yeah. In there too. Yeah.
Yeah, we're 4 miles from the Huntington Beach Pier.
What is that, DC?
Yeah, we're 4 miles from the Huntington Beach Pier.
Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing how we take it for granted, because when I joined the Air Force, I met a lot of people who never seen an ocean.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's amazing. I can't fathom that. I was born by an ocean, so surrounded by an ocean. But that's amazing when you take it for granted there's going to be an ocean. But people from Kansas and Missouri and Iowa and all that never seen an ocean. Gosh, that really struck me, man.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, you're right, Uncle Larry. They would say, "Oh, you're so lucky to have been, growing up in California next to an ocean." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
We all thought it was automatic for us.
Yeah, I mean, we spent our summers taking the bus to the beach. I mean, it was, take the bus to the beach. That's what we did. Hang out at the beach all day. Sun went down and take the beach, the bus back home. That was it. The beach was free to everybody. Everyone loved the beach, and that's what we did. So, yeah, to have someone say they've never been to either shore, Atlantic or Pacific.
The Gulf, the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Never seen the ocean. Man.
Does the Gulf count, Uncle Larry? Because the Gulf is kind of gross. Mississippi and the Gulf of Mississippi.
Yeah, the Gulf is very, very different from Atlantic and Pacific. But
I was in Biloxi, Uncle Larry. It's not a nice place.
Biloxi.
And what gets me is I'm from Hawaii, so I understand humidity. I had some friends in the Air Force from Hawaii that got different bases than me, and they went to Florida, and they couldn't stand Florida. Can you imagine a guy from Hawaii get upset with humidity? The humidity got to be real bad for you to get upset with that. But they say Florida was like you walking through a swamp all the time.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like taking a bath towel and soaking it in hot water and throwing it over your face and head and go outside because you cannot breathe.
Yeah, they couldn't. I still remember some of the bases. One was Patrick Air Force Base, and but they couldn't stand it. They stayed there about a year or whatever. But I was lucky. I ended up in Korea and Japan. Yeah, Korea and
Another island, Uncle.
Well, Catherine, you have your son lives in Norway.
Yep.
Yeah. And right outside of Norway, of course, is the Norwegian Sea. I mean, that's a whole different temperature, over there. But does he and his family at all do anything with water or with or fishing or boating or anything? Or even when you go to visit, do you guys go out or no?
Yeah. They just recently got a boat and they ride up and down all the time and go out really far into basically the North Sea. Mm-hmm. And the kids jump out and the temperature is like unbelievable. He talked me into jumping into off the pier one time, and I don't like cold water. I mean, if it's below 80, I don't like that.
You are an island girl and heart girl because same with us.
Yeah. So he taught me. It was July 4th, a couple of years ago, and he said, "Mom, come on, jump in. How many times will you have to jump in the North Sea on July 4th?" And the kids want you to do that. And I was like, "Gannon, is it cold?" He goes, not really. It's not really that cold. Serious as he could be. And I'd say, "You're not just saying that, are you?" No, I'm not just saying it. And so I jumped in and the kids were in the water and I came up and I was like, I literally couldn't even breathe. I could just look at him, like, it was horrible. That was July 4th. It should have been warm, right?
Yeah.
Not that far north.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because Norway is also, they're known for their fishing as well. Lots of the fishing industry are in that whole North Sea area, crabbing, right? As well as whole fishing fleets.
Salmon.
Okay.
Everybody eats salmon all the time. In fact, when I go there now,
she froze.
Salmon. It's freshwater salmon. I mean, it's cold water salmon.
Cold water, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm going to defer to our fishermen. Is there a subtle difference between cold water salmon and warm water salmon there, Stanford?
Yeah, temperature. Come on.
Yeah, what's colder?
Okay, great question. Great question. Keep rolling this along. Is there any difference between cold water and warm water? Yeah, temperature. Oh,
Again.
Porky, what are you doing? Come fun it.
I'm just asking the questions.
You're making us look Oconee.
Oh,
Come
the
on.
Booze Cruise is working overtime.
Oh my
Marty.
goodness.
Marty, help me out here, Marty. You know, I'm out here naked and afraid, brother.
Oh my God.
Stanley's on fire right now.
Oh my gosh.
Depending on the water
Uncle, you walked right
temperature,
into that one, Uncle. I gotta
Oh,
say,
Lord.
you walked right in.
Come on.
It was like, hello.
cold,
Set them
cold
up and knock them down. Set them up and knock them down. Oh, Stanford.
yeah, cold water salmon actually it has a higher fat content. So it's like, yeah. I mean, of course they're in cold waters, but certain time of the year, like just before the winter and all that, they start fattening up so that they have their reserves and stuff. So like even in Japan, they said that the best time to eat fish is in October because it's the fish is they're feeding well and they're fattening up for the winter. So that's the best time to eat fish in Japan, they say. Yeah, during the harvest time.
Okay.
That's what I do. I fatten up for the winter, no problem, all the time. Every single winter, I know when to go. October comes around, boom. Okay, gotta fatten up, gotta eat something.
When Stanley starts hibernating, it's
That's it.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know when to stop, but I just keep going, so that's my problem.
We'll just have to make a big emu for you then.
About the 15th of October is a good time.
Sure, no problem. Whatever you say. I was starting on the 1st, but that's okay. No worries.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
I mean, get the emu prepped.
Oh.
That must be my problem. I forget to do the hibernation part where you don't eat.
You go. See?
That's what it is. I'm gonna buy a new calendar. So
You go right past that point. That's exactly what I do. Keep going. No worries.
Speaking of eating, I don't know if I was hoping Mahala was going to be here tonight so she could tell us about those corn dogs that she posted.
Oh,
because I'm ready to drive to Northridge. I'll tell you what.
hey, I can Uber eat that. I can Uber Eats for you. Northridge is right outside my door.
Have you been there?
I have not been there, and actually, I'm surprised she's not on here because I was gonna curse her out for not waiting for me to go.
Apparently, it's Korean corn dogs. It said on there.
Hey, ask the question. Is there a difference between Korean corn dogs and U.S. corn dogs? Yes, there is.
That was my question.
I was wondering,
Stanley.
Well, it's really straightforward. 'cause
Probably got kimchi in it.
That's right. It has kimchi in it. You see, Stanley, you foiled yourself because the Korean hot dogs have kimchi in it. So there.
We'll have to defer to next week. I'll tell her, Marty, you're asking about her, and she can give her own foodie review.
There's always a place.
And headed to Northridge.
There's always a place in the North Sea for you, Stanley. I do know some people that live out there. They'd be glad to drop you off.
No problem. I'll just swim there. No worries. Portuguese have a way of finding where they're going, eventually. But they know where they're going, so.
Usually, Marty, when we go to Disneyland, we always eat lunch on Main Street. We get the corn dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get the corn dog on Main Street because it's like a beer batter corn dog, which is so delicious.
That's the $15 one, right?
Absolutely. You're dang right.
I'm going to Disneyland to get a $15 corn dog. Yes.
Right.
No.
I'll sit there with my orange Fanta and my beer batter corn dog and watch the parade go by, and I am like in heaven. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, I'm in heaven. I love it so much.
So, as we wrap up here this evening, just a couple things real quick here. Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Island Social Network. Our guest is Kimo West.
Yay!
Grammy Award-winning Slaki Kiho Alu Slaki player. He is uber talented, and a cool thing about him is that he has toured with Weird Al Yankovic for over 30 years. He's been with the band.
He tiptoes through the tulips.
Well, not Tiny Tim, but Weird Al Yankovic, which is Weird Al Yankovic has made a name for himself doing parodies of popular songs. For instance, like Michael Jackson's "Beat It," he did "Eat It," and you can look on YouTube on a number of. You just look up Weird Al Yankovic. Remember Madonna did like a virgin. He did
Like a surgeon.
Like a surgeon, yeah. He has done some amazing, funny things. And if you look at some of the videos on YouTube of Weird Al Yankovic in concert or whatever, you'll see Kimo West there because he was musical director, lead guitarist. And so he has lots of great road stories about touring, as well as his introduction to Kiho'alu, he falling in love with Hana Maui, and his association with many of the Maui, like Uncle George, and many of the legendary Hawaiian entertainers that took him under their wing. And he's just a real sweet man. And I'm really happy that he accepted my invitation. When I called him 2 weeks ago, he picks up the phone and he is in Florida. And I go, oh my goodness, he goes, no, man, I saw the call coming in for you. Didn't want to miss the call. I went, oh my goodness, thank you. He says, we're going to go out fishing. And so I'm sure you may have some good fishing stories too to tell for us as well. So join us on Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Island Network with Kimo West. And then of course on Wednesday, the baboos over here, Stanley Gomes from Wailuku, Maui is going to be
over here.
and I'm not sure, two of our other friends may join us. It depends on what's going on in Australia and in Hau'ula, whether our two other baboozes will join us. So we always have fun on Wednesdays as well. Kahiao, something else is coming up, Kahiao, on Saturday. What's going on? Isn't there something?
This Saturday? Oh, the 19th?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Having another Aloha boutique in Santa Clarita?
Okay, that's what I saw.
I was like, oh my gosh, I get my weekends messed up? Oh gosh, I'm triple booked.
Okay, all right. And then I see California Daughters Guild also has a Hawaiian plate
fundraiser. Yeah.
Fundraiser. And we posted it on Sandwich Islands and we have it on social media. So if you're in a position to support the California Daughters Guild, please do.
My order's in.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Good food.
Yeah, always good. I don't know, Uncle Larry, do they have beef stew? I'm not sure.
No.
Oh, Anthony Hetty, have you heard any more about Kumuka'i before we go? Is it on for next year?
For 2022.
2022?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And little by little, as we come out from underneath our COVID rock, blinking at the sunlight, more and more of these venues are opening up, and more entertainers from Hawaii are coming this way. Talking with Kavika Kahiapo and Lehua Kalima and Sean Pimentel, a friend of ours. They're going to be coming this way. I believe Makaha Sons are coming this way as well. Augie Toba, the comic Augie Toba, is also coming in July. And I put a call out to him. I should be having him as a guest on my Aloha Friday show, Sandwich Island Network Aloha Friday show. So that should be good. I'll let you know when we book him.
Kimo West and Aulani Price will be July 1st at the Muckenthaler in Fullerton.
Beautiful. And then Henry Capono is coming in July as well to the Coach House. And so quite a few are coming this way. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens after June 15th. Yeah. I think as the weeks go by, less and less of the restrictions. And on a personal note, I think we should all still be very cautious it isn't like July 15th and it goes away.
You can't flip a switch.
Just because the government said so, right? We're going to switch it off and it's going to be okay. This is just my personal belief over here. Be cautious. Use all of the precautionary things you need to keep yourself healthy. I think that's important too. I was talking with Marty, and I think I shared also with with Stanford. Would love to have at least sometime this summer, all of us to be thinking about a face-to-face potluck, all us guys.
Hey,
get
you
together.
got it, brother.
What,
You
what
got
about
it.
us Wahinis?
Huh?
And all us
You can
guys.
come too. You can come too. It's okay.
All the guys and guisettes.
Okay.
Dig yourself in a hole.
All of you, okay, Hawaiian style. All you fella, which is ambiguous for male and female. But thinking about, some place that we can either reserve a pavilion where there's a table and a bathroom's nearby.
Exactly.
So
So
get one
if
down
you-
the street over here, just down the street. Get one.
No, Wiedemeyer, not in Norway. Shame on you. But think about it. Begin thinking about it, please, because this will be a great opportunity for us to, in the next month or 6 or.
Well, what's a good midway point, Uncle?
I'm
No
not sure.
worries.
Talking like Carson?
I get
Or
a
you talking
motorcycle.
like-
I can go anywhere.
Carson.
Bathrooms.
Carson.
Midway.
I
What's
got a
midway?
pack. I got a pack if I go to Carson. Come on now.
So think about it for just give it some thought, right?
How about Kavina? I got a place right down there by the park. No worries.
Stay that point.
Yeah, but then Kevin can't come up from San Diego that
We
far.
don't need Kevin. He can fly in. No worries.
We need
Stanley gonna pick
Kevin
me
to
up
make
in a
a couple of
Mustang.
those pies.
All right, you guys, it's time for pictures. There we go. We got to take a picture over here. We got count of
Kelly,
3.
Rochelle can come to San Diego. You guys can come too.
Thank you, Wiedemeyer. I'm gonna see if I can get Wiedemeyer out of the picture. But
No, I'm
Don't
gonna
let it
zoom.
touch you
Look,
like
I'm
that,
zooming.
Kevin.
I'm gonna zoom.
oh, love you guys.
Right on.
Love you all, guys and ladies. And so much wonderful aloha, so much humor and laughter, and it continues on, and it's a bright spot in my week. I know about all of you. I feel very just really excited about getting together every week with you. Great stories, great laughter. Thank you so much. Love you all very much. Okay, on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, so we say aloha, and right now I'm gonna stop the recording and we say aloha, everybody.